Hello everyone, it's your boy Aeroflame, back again for another video. Today we have, as you can see from the video title, a very interesting video for today. You can call it interesting. We have to go over a couple accusations being made towards me. I really didn't want to make this video. You can ask a lot of people I don't want to make this video, but people were literally goading me into making this video. They were begging me to make this video for some reason. So, I am nothing if not a man of the people, and I will always give people what they want. So, to Jar, Surfbone, Noodles, and all the goons who wanted this video, here's the video. So, the first thing that we're going to go over, and the thing that I'm sure everybody wants to hear about, and my opinion on it, which I've given before, is the whole Seth situation in regards to him talking to the girls and blah, 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 and me supporting him. Let me make this clear. I went on the Keemstar show, and I answered this question before, and I'll insert that video clip here.
Arrow,
yes.
Are there any accusations against Seth right now that are being administered in this Discord call that you want to take and say why they are by any chance not true or falsified? Like any specific allegations against Seth?
There's the only allegation that I have any sort of knowledge on is the pedo allegation. And that's assuming that it's the same document that I read before, right? And once again, let this be proof that I'm not a Seth dick writer. Because when this came out the first time, I was already not really in the community, so I didn't comment on it the first time. So this
comment on it now. Comment on it now.
Okay, so I'm going to comment on it right now. So from my understanding, my understanding is that Seth is 2 years older than me, and what's her name? Bucky's sister's name.
The girl.
Satire is 1 year younger than me, right? So at the time of all that, based on my understanding, Seth would be 19, Satire was 16, 17, because I was 18 at the time. Or excuse me, he would be 19 or 20 talking to a 16 or 17-year-old.
I thought he was in his
So
mid-20s.
from my understanding, or at least in my state, that's legal. You can just do that. So I didn't have any comment on it. I didn't know for sure where he lived, and I didn't know for sure how old everybody was in that situation. So I didn't comment on it. But from what I think, he's only 2 years older than me. That girl's only 1 year younger. So I don't know if there's a problem. Based on the information
Allegedly, there's other minors that he was involved with.
Yeah, I don't know anything about
Okay,
it.
listen. Let me, because maybe there's a lot of new people that join the stream, so let me just maybe get them back in the loop here. So Clyde, right? Are you allegating that Seth is engaging in pedophile activities?
Man, the problem with the situation with him is there are so many different allegations from other girls. That's why it had to be mentioned in the video. Like even the Satire one alone, from my knowledge, at the time when they were talking, she was 16 and he was 20 or 21.
Okay, but like, do you have anyone that was like specifically like proven where like the girl maybe came out and said like, oh, this guy's been
some of them have been silenced. I had to bring her on stream because she was too scared to speak because her fucking channel got obliterated by his fans.
Okay.
Is there any way you could get maybe any of those girls in here now to say their piece?
It's early as fuck. Like I wasn't even expecting this kind of call, to be honest. I wanted to chat with you guys and do this, not have like a massive shit show where we all argue like this. But it's like 6 a.m. I doubt she's gonna be on.
I feel like Seth and Noodle and Swag, like I feel like we really represented like what you guys were saying and your points. But I wanted to get some pushback, right, on some of this stuff. Just so it's fair to everyone. And I know Pat God, that's his main concern as well. Big $100 donation. Thank you so much. Try harder. So Arrow's representing kind of, an unbiased, as he claims, position here. Is there anyone else, Arrow, that you think that we could bring in because Seth won't come himself that could defend Seth in any way?
Probably. There's a bunch of people, or defend him in any way. I don't know. Like this gallery right here is literally everybody who I would say
is against him.
Is against him. Like these are kind of his closest friends right here.
So
I know
Arrow, your main point, if I could reiterate, is like, look, man, all these guys have skeletons in their closet. Like, they shouldn't be outing, you know, Seth because they're hypocrites, right?
No. If he did it, I think that he should be outed. Period.
Okay.
Like I said, I'm unbiased.
Well, I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Go on.
I think that he should be outed. But I also think we should point out that, like, the niggas that they're calling up, if I did hear correctly, and that was Kappa.
He wasn't on there, bro.
And with the Noodles shit, with the Surfbone things, I think that there are things that...
The whole stream is up on my channel, bro. He wasn't on there. Stop saying it.
Okay, then I
real quick.
Don't raise it at me.
Guys, if I could enter...
So, anyone who's saying that I supported Seth in any sort of way, on record, I've said before what I think, but let me just say it here once again to be explicit. If he did those things, which it seems like he did, I know for a fact that he made somebody eat poo-poo to be a mod. I don't support that. I don't fuck with that. I think that's really weird, and I think you shouldn't be doing that type of shit. I don't know why I have to say it 3 times for it to be clear that I'm not really into that sort of thing, but I don't support it, right? I think talking to underage girls is weird, right? I think that the jokes that he made are weird. I think that the whole situation was weird. I don't condone it at all. I even said to him in DMs, I'm going to put it on screen if I can find it. It's just weird. You shouldn't be doing that, right? And this narrative that I supported him on the Keem stream comes from nothing. It's simply a lie. It's a non-truth that's being told about me. And as we go through this video, you'll find that a lot of non-truths are told in regards to situations that involve me and pertain to me. But let's focus on this for just now. So, I have a real big problem with this because of the things that were said when I brought up the fact that the defense that I brought up, or the defense that was being said that I brought up, was just false. I confronted Just a Robot about it on Twitter. He didn't really respond that much, and in the YouTube comments, where, as you'll see on the screen, he pretty much told me, I'm a bigger subscribed character than you, therefore, it doesn't really matter what I say, right? So he's basically saying that because he has more subs than me, he can say whatever the fuck he wants about me. And I really have a problem with that. I have an issue with that because I feel like if someone was bigger than you, Jar, you wouldn't want them to just start saying things about you that could just ruin your reputation. That'd be really fucked up, right? You would have a serious problem with that, right? So I'm really not sure why it is that you decided to do that to me. I didn't do anything to you, right? We had some debate beef however many years ago, right? I barely even remember what the fuck it was about. I barely remember you, no offense. So this whole thing coming up and you having my name in your mouth years and years and years after the fact, I think is really, really weird. Especially when I don't even make content like that. Like you said, I'm a small creator. There's really no reason to draw me into it, right? Especially when the beef when the beef didn't involve you, right? The reason I went on the Keem stream was clearly to talk about the fact that Noodles talked about me on stream, and the fact that in his video he talked about me being a liar in regards to the whole Surfbone situation, which, trust me, we are going to get into. Now, we've already gotten to the whole lie thing, the whole big lie that you've already told, and we've gotten into the feelings that you had towards it. But now you are expensing things to your audience which are just morally wrong to me, right? Which is why I have to make this video. Noodles I can ignore. He's only talking to like 5,000 people, right? I've already pushed the idea of what he did to these people, right? If they're a lost cause to me. But you have 200,000 subscribers, Jar. And you're trying to make them all believe that some rapist is what he isn't, and taking things out of context. And I really have a problem with that. So I hope you sit back and relax and you tune in for this video, especially because I'm most especially talking to you. Because this makes you go from just a clout chaser on YouTube to like a genuine, honest to God piece of shit. I'm sorry. That's just the way that it is. So, we've gone over all the lies that you've told. So let's go into your compatriots. Let's go into your partners in crime. Let's go into the whole Noodles and Surfbone situation, because you had a lot to say on that. And I really didn't like the attitude that you took with that. So I'm going to really drive home that you chose the wrong side. And I'm going to really drive home to everybody listening that just because you say delete videos and try and remove all the evidence of what you did, the truth is always going to come out, right? And I'm a big proponent of that. I'm a big proponent of, if you do something wrong, you're eventually going to get caught for it, right? Especially when you just go around just swinging your dick and trying to tell everybody on the planet that everybody is lying against you and putting it up on every platform. We've done this how many times? You would think that you've learned your lesson and take the grace that I'm giving you to just get off of the app and get out of my community. That's all I'm asking you to do. I haven't doxed you. I haven't gone crazy. Even though you may think that the fact that I constantly tell people that, to Noodles, that your girlfriend cheated on you with a 15-year-old at Walmart, that you think that that's doxing, that's not really giving any of your personal information. That's not giving anything that can identify you, unless you're notorious for having your girlfriend fucked by a 15-year-old, which we'll get into why that's super interesting later. Besides the fact that he's 15. But that's neither here nor there, right? We're going to get into the hypocrisy, the lies, and all those things right here, right now. I'm going to put this all to bed, and hopefully anybody who watches this video won't come to me with some stupid nonsense about being lying about Surfbone. So let's get it started. So the first big thing that we're going to get into is the recording of the young lady that he had with him on the video that Jar is saying is so exonerating, right? Now, this is interesting for a lot of things, and it's most interesting if you hadn't seen the video. You could see that video out of context as it was, a couple seconds clip, and think, wow, how could anybody really see that and think that this doesn't completely clear his name? Well, in that video, which was on YouTube, but they took down for some reason or the other. In that original video, the young lady says that it's something that she really wouldn't talk about, right? The situation at hand. The situation at hand being Surfbone and this young lady. And these are, in his words, in the recording Aeroflame versus Surfbone, which was up and uploaded by Spencer, which, and I'll show evidence here, he has somewhere on his computer.
This is another thing. I'm gonna ask that nobody tries to hunt down the link from the server, because when I talked to Surfbone about it, he's like, "Yeah, that's on my like personal email." So like his last name is connected to that Google Drive link, 100%. No, he deleted the link, but the link is still out there if somebody finds the server.
Well, like the link, the initial link to the video?
Yeah, the initial link to the Google Drive that the video is stored on is out there somewhere. But if you find it, I don't think you would be able to get his email from it. But if you find it, his first and last name is like right on there.
And he can go find it anytime he wants. And he can prove me to be a lying rat weasel at any time. But I think it's pretty well known that I have a reputation for not lying. I'm no liar. Everything I say can be backed up almost 100% of the time. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Now, lying, not really my thing. So like I said, Spencer, you have the video. If you want to prove me wrong, I know I'm not wrong. So I'm telling you to put the video out. But if you want to prove me wrong and prove me to be a liar, which I'm sure you guys say that I will be, any of you guys can put out the video and show that I'm wrong. Into the recollection. So Surfbone says that he and a lot of his friends and one young lady had went out to the woods for a party, and they were all on the same swim team. So it wasn't weird. Totally normal thing, right? The young lady proceeds to drink for quite a while until, well, not just the young lady, to be clear. They always like for me to include this point. They all drank until Surfbone was drunk. He wandered into his tent and he decided to chill out and lay down for the night, right? The young lady was so drunk that she had to be laid out on a mattress because she could no longer walk. She was that intoxicated. And then while she was on this mattress, she proceeded to vomit on it, covering the mattress and throw up, so she couldn't sleep on it anymore, right? So they proceeded to pick her up because, once again, she can't walk on her own because of how inebriated she is, and they placed her inside of Surfbone's tent. Now, his exact words is, they threw her into its tent. Which is very odd terminology, but we're not going to get into that. We're just going to say she was placed in the tent, right? And then she proceeded to offer to have sex with him. And the two of them had sex, right? And throughout the time that they had sex, she was going in and out of consciousness. Like she was constantly passing out while the two of them were having intercourse. Going fully out of consciousness to the point where Surfbone noticed, right? And despite the fact that he noticed that she was going in and out of consciousness, he didn't even consider it. He continued to have sex with her, despite the fact that she was going in and out of consciousness. Now, there are a lot of things that have to be talked about in regards to having sex and consent and all these, that, and the other, right? But when it comes to having drunk sex, you have to be a little bit more careful, right? And when you're being careful, that means you have to make sure that this person is clearly not intoxicated to the point where they cannot give consent. Now, intoxicated to the point of not being able to give consent is very clear, right? So someone who is intoxicated beyond the point of consent is physically helpless, intellectually or mentally incapacitated, or had a mental disease or defect, right? So how do we know that Surfbone knows that this young lady is intoxicated beyond the point of consent? Well, the reason is we have two things that Surfbone himself admit. The first being that she had to be carried from place to place and placed places, that's a tongue twister, because she couldn't do it herself. So she was physically incapable, right? Physically helpless. And two, the fact is she said, or rather he said, that he was surprised by the fact that she wanted to have sex with him because she had a boyfriend at the time. And he proceeds to say later on that she herself says that if she were not drunk, she would not have had sex with Surfbone because of the fact that she had a boyfriend at the time. That means that her decision making, her mental capacities were also impaired by the alcohol.
Last question. Guys, actually, there's one last question. Are you saying that you had sex with a girl who said that she would not have told you yes?
If she was sober, because she was in a relationship.
Yes, she said that. But she said that if she were in the right mind, she would have said no.
Right, but again, she was the one that she.
Wait.
Now, once again, you may think that the recording that I mentioned earlier may negate this, which I will insert here.
So, the situation with Surfbone, no, he's not a rapist. So, what happened was we both went to a camping trip and drank way too much, and it was a shitty situation. Don't get it twisted, but in no way is Surfbone responsible for what happened. I was the one who suggested it. He was in no way the initiator there, so
negates all of the things that I say, right? But as I said, there are things that she said in the recording, such as, this is something that you just probably should not talk about with other people. But along with that, in order to show that I'm a reasonable person, and the people who perform the trial are reasonable people, which we'll get into, is that she told her friends what happened. And her friends, who know the law, apparently, or study it, figured that and heard that, and they thought that she had been raped, right? Now, this is what I heard in the recording, and I bring it up in the Keemstar stream, which I'll show here.
About that, they said that I probably did get raped, but I'm not going to press charges.
And independent of me, someone who is not on my side in this situation, Spencer says that he explicitly remembers that someone in the video, or not someone in the video, the girl in the video says that she told her friends, and her friends who study the law also agree that she was raped. And I'll show that right here.
Think about it like this. The entire population of the community that you're in is saying you're like an R word, right? And so, first of all, this is kind of like a weird way to prove you're innocent in the first place. It was not her friends and her family. It was like 2 of her friends that studied law. That was what she said. But she was basically like, "Why the fuck are you calling me on Discord?" And he was like, "Yeah, some people are accusing me of like being you." No, it wasn't her fam. Because you remember, Jamal, we were talking about how Ace is also in law school and just did his version of the bar. But yeah, I think at the time that the video was recorded, they would be like literally freshmen, maybe sophomores. But she is like, "Yeah, my 2 friends who are in law school said that it would be one thing, but like, what the fuck?" And Arrow saying that all of her friends are telling her to press charges is just absolutely wrong.
There seems to be this idea that without the girl herself being the one to press the charges, that it's impossible to say that what Surfbone did was wrong, and having sex with that unconscious girl was an okay thing to do, right? The girl also explicitly just says that there are parts that she just cannot remember, which once again lines up with the fact that she was constantly going in and out of consciousness, which once again is in the recording that they decided to take down, and they had Jar post out of context, and they have in their big expose video posted out of context, right? There's a reason as to why all of those videos were taken down, and that's because what the girl says does not exonerate Surfbone if you look at the entirety of the video. What she is saying is that she won't press charges. She herself does not consider it rape. However, what that is still rape. You still can't do it, and it's not okay for you to tell other people that that's an okay thing to do. Because as bad as it is, people do look up to you two. People do look up to you, Noodles and Surfbone. There are people like PJ now who think that what you think is okay. There are people around you who think that's okay. There are people in your comment sections who think that are okay. So what you're doing is you're perpetuating a cycle where girls are going to get drunk and high school boys are going to think it's okay to fucking take advantage of them. And you guys don't understand why I get so heated about this, why I'm on it so doggedly, and I don't understand what you niggas don't understand. I'm saying don't encourage high school boys to rape bitches. That's all. Y'all know me. Y'all know Arrow. I'm not the most politically correct person in the world. But all I'm saying is don't rape, and that's a problem? I genuinely do not understand it. I don't understand why this has been a conflict that's been going on for years, and all I'm asking you to do is get off the app. All you have to do is go. because you're a rapist. I don't fuck with that. I don't rock with that. And I don't rock with the fact that you're making other people think that that sort of behavior is acceptable. It's fucking disgusting. And I think you as well, Just the Robot, I think you're also a piece of shit because you're letting these people persuade you and get on your side. You're letting these people tag along with your message, and you're letting them put their names on your shit, and you're defending them. And if you either A, didn't look into the full story, which is so madly irresponsible for someone with an audience as big as yours, or B, you do know the full story and you're also a slimy, disgusting piece of shit also. Those are your only two options. Those are the only two. And the thing that really gets my fucking goat is that anybody who's on his side, anybody who's on Noodles and Surfbone's side, literally just has to ignore everything I say. They just have to hear me ranting and screaming in the corner, and they just have to go to click my video, right? And then Noodles and Surfbone will just be like, no, he's fucking Eisen. Don't listen to him. Bro, I'm going to show you something that's going to blow your motherfucking mind. I'm going to show you multiple videos now. Multiple videos back to back where the story about what happened with Surfbone is told. You have my original recollection, right, with the whole he was tossed in, which, as I said, you guys can release the video at any point if you want to say that Surfbone didn't say that on the video. By all means. Spencer, like I said, you have the video on your hard drive. You know it says that. I know it says that. So if you call me a liar, I'm just going to put the video out because you know he said that. Either way, you have my recollection. I'm going to give the recollection given by Seth in the original back and forth when he originally told the story. I'll also give Spencer's account where he talks about the story and he says that Surfbone changed his story. And I'll also show just a one-off AU where Noodles tried to claim that the whole story was a joke and none of it actually happened and the girl doesn't exist and none of that shit went down. So I'll show those 4 clips of the story changing 4 times explicitly, and if I can find it, I'll also throw in the clip or screenshot of Bleach Hub helping Surfbone change his story before he even came to the trial. So like I said, count them. It's going to be 4 changes. Roll it.
The next day, me and Surfbone were talking about, like, Parrot possibly lying or something, and I was trying to convince Surfbone, yeah, it's okay to lie, you know, it's alright. So, he's like, you know, Seth, I'm not actually a liar. Like, let me clarify. Like, clarify what? He's like, the cream pie story. I'm like, oh, okay. So he tells me, he's like, yeah, me and 3 of my friends were going camping with some drinks, and there was a girl there. And I was like, this is kind of weird, like 3 dudes and 1 girl at camping, you know, getting drunk, right? And he's like, yeah, she got really fucked up, and I was kind of a little bit drunk. That's why I came so many times, and that's how I cream pied her 4 times. He never once said, by the way, that it was 4 different times. He just said he cream pied 4 times, like straight up. That's why it was so unbelievable. That's why everyone's like, "What the fuck are you talking about, bro?"
That is
that's why we're
fucking bullshit.
Please,
Order in the court. Everyone,
order in the court.
Let the witness speak.
If he just said, yeah, I cream pied her, waited 15 minutes, and then cream pied her again, that'd be more believable. But it was like, the implication was like, oh, you just one stopping, bro. So, okay. So we're like, oh, how was she drunk? And he's like, yeah, she was in and out. I'm like, in and out? What do you mean in and out? Like, and I was like, but you remember everything? And he's like, yeah. I'm like, so you raped her? Like you raped this girl? Like that's not a normal thing. Like if she's not remembering it, you raped her. And not only that, but in this court case here, he said, yeah, she wouldn't have done it if she was sober.
I don't think he's guilty of shit. I think you have how old was he? 17, 18, right? I think you have a kid who went on some trip and had probably his first sexual experience, right? Who's in a call with 2 guys who he really admires and played it up in his head. He played it up nicely, but then they heard it and they were like, "This is rape. Like you're a predator, right?" I don't see Surfbone as guilty of shit. I think genuinely, my opinion is the girl is probably right. Surfbone played this up to look good to Seth and Arrow, and then they ran with certain things. Because I don't know if you've ever listened or talked to Surfbone. Have you?
I'm speaking to him about. I've been in his server before when I like debated Nairobi. He's a chill person.
He's chill, but he's super awkward, and it takes him like 4 or 5 times to say something, right? Not like he's stuttering or anything, but like he doesn't phrase things well. And so I see him being in a VC with Seth and Arrow, and I like this is.
You think he was just trying to like puff out his chest, essentially?
Yes, I think he's trying to like impress the guys, and then they're like, "Hey, yo, what the fuck?"
Hey guys, my name's Arrowflame, and I've come here to make a joke about sexual assault. Hey Arrow, you know the part where you say that she was unconscious? That's not fucking true, moron. If you actually listen to the original story, Surfbone talks about how she wrote him, how she was the one to ask him for sex while he was like belligerently drunk. Huh? Did you just forget those parts? I think you always forget those parts. And how about the fact that you say in the recording when we fucking debated that the only thing you know for a fact was that she was too drunk, meaning you don't know for a fact if she was unconscious, you don't know for a fact if Surfbone was too inebriated or not to give consent, and you don't know for a fact if he actually fucking raped her. You're literally self-admitting that you're wrong. And by the way, just standing like this, talking slowly, making a joke about our accusation that can ruin someone's life.
So, as you can see there, there's just 4 different stories being told. And they're trying to claim that I am a liar, right? When I've told the same story since 2019, 2020, and their story constantly changes and shifts and gets modified, and he admits openly to being open to changing his story to make himself look better. So the fact that people ever take his word over mine, especially someone like you, Spencer, where we've been friends for years, and I've never lied to you, I've never lied on you, I've never done anything of the sort, and you know Noodles is a liar, you know Surfbone is a liar, and you think that just because he's some little kid, play it?
I wouldn't say that like Surfbone has purposefully changed his story in order to look more innocent. I think it's more so Surfbone can't talk.
Okay, well, thank you for your time.
I definitely agree that the story has changed.
Okay.
Whether it's due to new information or a conversation with the girl or whatever it is, the main vein or narrative has changed consistently.
Because he's some little kid, he fucking doesn't deserve to be treated and judged equally. Because one thing about Surfbone that always caught me off guard, I thought he was a kid too. Surfbone's a year younger than me. Surfbone's 22 right now. So when he told that story, if I was 20, he was 19. So all this shit about him being a kid and blah 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 and this, that, and the other, that's not an excuse. You think my one extra year of living made it so I just became rape and anti-rapist in my last year? I don't understand what the fuck you're talking about. Like, his age doesn't matter, right? His age doesn't matter. Even if he did that shit when he was 17, when I was 18, I do not rape bitches. When I was 17, in fact, I don't think that there's a point in my life where my parents hadn't taught me not to rape bitches. That if she is just not awake, don't have sex with her. Like, that was just implied. They taught me that shit in 6th ed, nigga. Like, so I know that you learned it. I know that you learned it. I know you learned, so I know you know. And I know everybody here had to go to that fucking sex ed class because we're all around the same age. I know that shit was mandatory. So why the fuck are we pretending? Why the fuck are we pretending that we don't know that shit is not okay? Like, it's so silly to me. It's so silly that we're doing this shit, right? That we're doing this song and dance about whether or not it's cool for him to have fucked a bitch who was going in and out of consciousness. We know he said it. We know that she couldn't even walk and shit, right? We know it. There's videos of it, right? And you guys have to put the videos out. Otherwise, it's just gonna be my word against yours, and I've proven that you're a fucking liar in this video. It's mind-boggling to me. So that and that's not even the tip of the fucking iceberg. You niggas teamed up with Dr. fucking Doom to try and take this nigga out, right? And the shit that you said about, ooh, I'm really finna get on your ass now. So in the recording, one of the things that they tried to say about me was that I was a doxer. Because like I said, I talk about the fact that Noodles' girlfriend had sex with a 15-year-old in a Walmart all the time and cheated on him. There's no identifying information in that, and that's the main claim to me being a doxer. Now, I always bring that up, one, because I find it funny that this piece of shit got his life fucking demolished, demoralized, obliterated, because he got cucked by a fucking high schooler, right? That's embarrassing, and I find that humorous, right? Sorry. But number two, I also find it incredibly disgusting because he broke up with her originally and took her back even though she's a pedophile. Like that's the biggest thing that's always stuck out to me, that he always tries to say this, that, and the other about these people and their moral standing and whether Surfbone's a rapist and whether he's defensible and whether I'm a liar and this, that, and the other when he's dating, well, I don't know if they're dating anymore, a fucking pedophile. Like that's just a blatant, it is what it is. So I'm not really understanding where this moral high ground is coming from. I'm not really understanding why you were so furious about Seth talking to 17-year-olds and shit when your girlfriend fucks 15-year-olds. That's disgusting, man. That's really nasty. That's really nasty. And that bitch should be in fucking prison or some shit. That's gross. That's I don't even know what to say to that. Like, you're really nasty for that. And I think that the fact that you're willing to accept her back and justify it in whatever way, you're an alpha male, you fucked however many bitches before you took your pedo girlfriend back, is just telling of your character on a consistent basis that justifies a lot of the things that I feel, right? Because it shows to me that you're willing to stand by someone no matter what the fuck that they do, right? Even if it's someone like your friend fucking an unconscious girl and you having to justify that. Or, you know, your girlfriend having sex with a child. It's a consistent basis of things that's just nasty. But to get further into that, beyond me not being a doxer, right? Noodles, Clyde, Surfbone, and all of them have decided to, for the sake of this little crusade, associate with Tryharder, right? Now, Tryharder is, and as I said on Keem's stream, play it.
Go on, Pack God.
All right.
Okay, let me ask one fucking question.
Pack God, I sent you a Twitter DM. Please add Tryharder. Tryharder says he knows the truth and he really needs on. You guys know Tryharder?
Awesome.
Yeah, Tryharder is a doxer, nuker, and swatter.
Is he?
What do you mean?
I think a Tryharder is a nuka, doxa, swatter that you guys decided to call on. So he destroys servers. He doxes people, like actually puts out their real name, real information. He did that to my buddy Ace, which was insane, and I had to end a debate event over it, which and he also recently just hacked Gideon, which was fucking nuts, and then pointed everybody towards Rakuzan in order to cause troubles for us, allowing for these guys to go into Gideon's server and start doxing my buddy Ace again, right? So just really insane shit. And he fucking swats people. He swatted some dude's dad and got him arrested. Now the nigga's dad is in jail, and he just doesn't have a dad anymore. He's giggling and laughing on the whole video, which was in Seth's video, which I'll rip and show you guys here. Play it.
Nigga, did they actually just...
So. Huh.
How can I help you?
Hello.
Hello?
Hello. My dad just shot my little sister. There's
What's the address of your emergency? For verification.
8.
Sturden? Are you saying Sturden or Sturgeon?
circle.
Spell it. I'm not.
S.
You're doing a great job. What's the phone number that you're calling from in case we get disconnected? It's not coming up. What is the numerical again? What is your numerical?
It's 2. Okay. 8. Okay, please listen to me, please. Florida.
This is Florida.
It's 321.
Okay, 321. Go ahead.
321.
Okay, you're doing a great job. Okay, Jeffrey, tell me exactly what happened.
Okay. Thank you so much. My dad came back home. He was probably drugged. I don't know. There's drugs all over the place. It smells so badly. There's drugs all over the place. And he came back. He had a shotgun and he straight up shot my little sister. My little sister Jennifer.
All right, stay on the phone with me. I'm gonna get you some help.
Like I said, it's
when did this happen?
About I couldn't speak to you guys. I had multiple issues with like it happened around 3 to 2 hours ago. And I can't. I'm hidden. He's yelling.
Okay, is your dad in the area?
He's not. I'm safe. Trust me, I am safe.
Jeffrey, is your dad in the area? Is your dad there?
Yes, he is.
Okay, how many people are injured?
Probably just my sister.
How many suspects are involved?
I only saw my dad. Just my dad.
Okay, where is he now?
He's still at home. He's still home. I can hear him yell.
Okay.
30.
I'm gonna need medical for that. I need to get your dad's description. Is he black, white, Hispanic, or Asian?
White.
How old is he?
43.
What's his name? Okay, you're doing a good job. I want you to stay on this phone with me, Jeffrey, all right?
Yes. Like I said,
How did he arrive?
He came with his Jeep home.
Okay, I need to get that vehicle description. What color is the Jeep?
Black.
Is it a 2-door or 4-door Jeep?
4-door.
It's 4-door? All right, you're doing a good job, Jeffrey.
I can't.
Need to get the weapon description.
He's yelling. I can't. It was a shotgun.
Sorry, Noodles, that I'm not respecting the privacy of your relationship by letting people know that. But it's not doxing you. I'm just letting people know that you got cheated on and cucked by a 15-year-old, and that you're a disgusting human being for taking that human being back instead of fucking calling the police or some shit. You're just a sad person. You just make me sick to my stomach, and I don't like you. I don't have the respect to give you any sort of respect. I just don't. At this point where we're at in our lives, right, after years of me and you going back and forth and beefing over a rapist, and you doing all these things and making all these grand stands and involving all these people, I can't respect you. You don't deserve my respect. You don't deserve the basic level of decency that I give most people. It's not tons, but it's still some. But you don't deserve any. You're just a shit person. You're a bully. You fight through other people, right? You go and say, oh, he did this, and try and sick other people on others, and you try and get big and tough on people that are smaller than you. But whenever you and I go at it, you turtle up like a little bitch, or you run out of VC, or you just fucking ban me or something, right? And then you go on Keemstar's stream, you're the beast Noodles, and you start sobbing and crying. Play it.
he did. So regardless, if you think I'm a bad person, that has nothing to do if he's a bad person. That's the point.
Let it all out. Let it all, Noodles. All right. This is your time to talk, right? If you want to say sorry for some stuff, if you want to cry, if you want to do whatever, just let the people know who you really are.
People don't understand that I was abused and victimized by him too.
It's just fucking embarrassing, man, to be honest. So, to sum all of this up, because I really don't want this video to be that long, but I still think this is going to be fucking... I don't know what I'm looking at. I don't have like a timer running or anything. It's still, I don't know. It's going to be a video of all time, right? In conclusion, Jar's a fucking liar. Spencer's a fucking liar, piece of shit who tries to hide evidence for his two rapist Tweedledee Tweedledum friends. Noodles is a rape apologist, and Surfbone's a fucking rapist. I didn't defend Seth. All of it's on video. That's it. See you guys in a year, I guess. Or when, I don't know, they decide to start bringing this rapist shit up again. I don't fucking know. Peace.